The game I'm about to review just proves that certain developers are making games to garner YouTubers' attention, but also feed into the amusement of 12-year-olds. iRec, released early 2017, is a first-person horror puzzle game made by neckbeard developer Labori. This game should never have been made, and I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't buy it. So let's start off with the story, shall we? A narcotics police officer invades a logistics company, suspended of drug trafficking. Looking for evidence, he discovers an even greater secret, and his mission now, and leave the place alive? Good English. iRec presents moments of tension with an incredible atmosphere of terror. Okay, so for those that don't read the blurb, you'd probably have no idea where you are, or what you're doing, or anything. And that is if the game doesn't fucking crash on you as you're going through the vent. But you know, not indicating who you are and what you're doing. Look, that's fine, I get it. Sometimes games don't have to divulge that information to you. But for a game that talks about it in the blurb, you'd think he'd add that in. Anyway, the first thing you are greeted to is the camera HUD on your screen. Let's have a good old fucking laugh though, shall we? iRec came out this 17th of January, being dull-lit rooms using a torch and having a camera HUD. Call to 10 also came out the 17th of January, being dull-lit rooms and using your torch and having a camera HUD. That game also is shit. Camera HUDs are nothing new, and I just found it a funny side note that two games got released on the same day doing the same thing. Great job, indie scene, making yourselves proud. Anyway, aside from not having anything original going for it, I started to search my surroundings, which is essentially room after room of item after item using the same assets. I booted up the computers and they demanded a password and username. Now I think I spent close to 20 minutes trying to figure this out, only to pause the game in my frustration and noticed a code in the corner. I tried it and sadly the code just wouldn't work. I think it had glitched out. After the game crashing on me about 3 or so times, I decided to call it a day. So I came back to the game today, being this very moment. I actually just finished playing the game and used the same code, and you know what? It worked. I then had to progress further. I had to get rid of these laser beams, so I had to figure out how to turn that off. And again, another 20 minutes passed of me having no fucking idea what I was doing until I noticed this thing on the ceiling on top of this shelving unit. Apparently that was the answer, but you know, the game isn't designed for a whole lot of jumping, so it felt like I had to glitch my way to get there. I then started rummaging around the office. I did notice this one email was written and sent to every single computer. The game has you download files, but it kind of just feels like I'm downloading the same email over and over again, which is about some workers having a fuck in the office. Anyway, I noticed on one of the computers it had a zip file called Harshly Critical Porn Gay. Now, for those who don't know, Harshly Critical is one of the few YouTubers that is actually a decent dude not trying to be an over-exaggerated extension of himself. He's just a dude like you and me playing games and having natural responses. It's quite refreshing. I can recommend you go check him out if you're into horror games, as he mainly plays horror games and a lot of them are often shitty indie titles. So I'm not sure if Harshly Critical has pissed this dude off in the past, but it was confusing and kind of a bit of a troll move. Anyway, I go into another room and it asks for a DVD. I find the DVD and then this happens. The game is shifted tone, and it did start to shift tone with the Harshly Critical Easter egg thing, but then it showed its true colors when this happened. This is a horror game appealing to immature teenagers who would find this witty, edgy, and overall funny. Sadly, this isn't the case. I continue down the corridor and proceed to partake in a spooky chase. I just couldn't handle it. It was just so scary. My character woke up 2 hours later and I had to solve this puzzle. And then I proceeded on my merry way. Oh, nice jump scare you have there, developer. I then had to solve another puzzle. The game started to have me do these math puzzles. And I don't know about you, but I'm not really that math inclined. The game's puzzles overall feel like you're doing kids' homework, and it was such a chore, and by no means do you get a sense of accomplishment or enjoyment. I progressed through the puzzles and walked into a room and saw this. I then walked into another room and saw this. I continued for a few more puzzles and eventually gave up. This one particular puzzle was so convoluted and didn't make any sense, I actually had no idea what to fucking do. I don't know about you, but it's pretty fatiguing to play bad horror games back to back. Some games are so bad they're good. Some games are just good. Some games are bad, you can't pick them. But this game is just more insulting than anything else. I'm sure there are developers out there trying to make a decent game, but then this fuckwit comes along and makes another shitty horror game, charges $8 for it on Steam, puts Hitler in it, supports Trump, puts some random naked chick in there, and has some weird gay porn Easter egg of a harmless YouTuber. I don't know, man. I don't think you should be making games anymore. Would you kindly fuck off? Someone, please recommend me a good indie horror game in the comments below. I really need one after playing this. If you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, hit the like and sub button. This is Shawnee Maurice from Hihu. Thanks for watching.